everybody, and welcome back to another Kraken Packs video. I am your host, MrBevers. That's right, we're back with another special Brad edition of Innistrad, the original Innistrad set. We're going to open up 3 packs here. We're going to take a focus mainly on the art of the cards and just the reminiscence of this set. This set was a great set. I really enjoyed playing in it. I didn't really get back into it at this set, but I got back into it around the time of the release of this set. So this set has a very special place in my heart. I had a lot of fun playing it. I also really enjoyed the Gothic motif. So that being said, let's get right into it. Let's open up the first pack and see what kind of fancy things we're going to find. Well, I don't know if the video will be as long as it was last week, but we'll see. So we've got a Blood-Crazed Neonate as our first card here. Look at that. That does not look like somebody you want to meet in a dark alleyway at night. Although it kind of looks like, I guess that's like lamplight. It must be lamplight, right? Because, you know, and also like, where does this arm go? Because like, it looks like it kind of just goes off into a wall, right? Doesn't it? It kind of does. It kind of does. Also, it looks like somebody cut up her threads. Like her sleeve is like off for some reason. It's like ripped good. Get yourself some new clothes, lady. You'll fit in better. Right? That's all I'm saying. We've got a nice Silver Chase Fox. I love the art on this. This fox looks like one of the bestest boys you could ask for. That's all I'm saying. Such a good card. Pay 2 mana, exile target enchantment. So we can get rid of gods, which is very important. It's just gorgeous art as well. I mean, I love animals just in general. How about that? How about that? Feeling of Dread. This is like a throwback to like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, right? Because like look at all those birds in the background. Is that what the Dread's all about? I think that's kind of the idea, right? Must be. It must be, right? Crows of Dark Tidings and what have you. They look pretty worried though, right? Those two folks. They look pretty worried. They look like they're on the edge of their seats. We've got a Dark Thicket Wolf. This, on the other hand, doesn't look like a cute animal. It looks like something that is going to attack you, regardless of whether you are offering it food or not. So, you know, but maybe it's just misunderstood. Maybe this wolf just needs some love, right? Maybe it just needs some love. It's probably just misunderstood. I bet you that if you took the time to get to know this wolf, things would turn around and it wouldn't bear its fangs at you. That's my guess. That's my guess. We've got the Shimmering Grotto. This is gorgeous art too. Like, I mean, just look at the detail. Like, wouldn't you want to live there? Like, it looks like a temple or like maybe a house or something, but like, wouldn't you want to live in this place? I would. This looks gorgeous. You have your own like little waterfall and like a little garden with a path and stuff, and you're all like hidden away behind the rocks and stuff. Looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, we've got a Moon Mist. Another absolutely gorgeous art here. With the werewolves running in sort of like the mist. Right? And the moon, the super moon, of course, in the background there. Does the moon have a face? Does that moon look like it has a face to anyone else? Kind of looks like it has a face to me. It's got like an eye here. Right? There's like an eye. And then like another eye. And then like the little like mouth or nose there hidden behind the tree. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Well, joke's on you guys, I was always crazy. Walking Corpse. Yeah. I mean, not much to say about this one. The 2/2 zombie. Is it hopeless? When wave upon wave of our dead return as mindless flesh-eaters to claw upon Thraben's walls, we're too busy cutting them down to indulge ourselves in such philosophical foppery. Foppery? I'm gonna have to look that word up later. Foppery. Philosophical foppery. Alright. Smite the Monstrous. is that thing getting smote by the moon? Is that what's happening right there? So, like, is this thing... Like, what? I don't... What dies to moonlight? Do you know what I mean? Like, it looks like it's being smote by the moon, right? That's what it looks like. But, like, what kind of things in, like, mythical, you know, stories die to moonlight? I mean, like, werewolves come out in the full moon, right? But what dies to moonlight? I honestly don't know. I'll have to look that up. I mean, if you know, leave it below in the comments. Spidery grasp. I mean, I think that she should probably see a doctor if that kind of stuff comes out of her fingertips just willy-nilly. Because, like, I mean, just think of, like, you're, like, doing any kind of daily task, like brushing your teeth, and then all of a sudden you have a mouthful of webs, and you're like, ugh. Right? Like, it just, like, goes all over the toothbrush and, like, into your mouth and stuff, and you're just like, no, stop. Right? Or, like, you're trying to, like, put on your clothes, and, like, you go to, like, put your shirt on, and then all of a sudden it's, like, stuck to your hair. Right? Or, like, whatever. Like, it seems like it would be bad. It seems like it would be a bad thing to have happening all the time. Alright, first uncommon here. Village Cannibals. You definitely don't want to wake up like this. Right? Like, this is a point of view card. POV, right? Is what we're looking at right here. Like, those are your hands. And you wake up like this. What do you do? Right? What do you do? Some have endured the horrors of Innistrad by becoming the worst monsters of all. Humans that eat other humans. Gross. Scab Goliath. Well, I mean, this thing has multiple heads and multiple arms. Is that a head in a hand? It kind of looks like it, right? Like, look what... Like... And it doesn't look like a head that they've ripped off somebody or something. It looks like it's one of their heads, and it's attached via, like, this huge arm thing. That is super weird looking. There's an arm coming out of his eye. There's an arm coming out of his eye. These just like these two dudes down here, like, ah! Like, putting your hands up is gonna totally protect you from this thing. Run, you idiots. Run. Running is the only option in that situation. Full Moon's Rise. I love the art on this card. But I'm a big sucker for, like, space and, like, moon and, like that kind of, like, aesthetic of, like, being out in nature, and it's just kind of like things being silhouetted against the moonlight. Like, that's a big thing for me. I don't know. I love the art of this card. It's just one of those things. It hits a soft spot for me. I don't know. And our rare, a Moorland Hunt. Moorland Hunt. Little rare there. So add a colorless to your mana pool, or pay a white and a blue, tap it, and exile a creature card from your graveyard. Put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. You can see the little wisps coming in and out of the house there. Those are the things that the graveyard's in the house. That's why you're exiling them from inside the house, and they're coming out the windows as spirits. Right? That's how that works. That's what this is. This is like a crematorium, I guess, kind of, right? Like, that's how this works. They basically, like, you know, corpse is in, ghosts out. Right? Corpse goes in, ghost comes out. Corpse goes in, ghost comes out. That's how welcome to science. Science, everyone. So then you got your token, and you got your flip card, and then you've got your... I should say your checklist card, and then you've got your actual flip card, which is the Grizzled Outcasts, which is our little 4/4 for 5 that says at the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast, flip it, and it flips into the Krowlin Horde Wontons. Ooh, I could go for some wontons right now. At the beginning of each upkeep, so it just turns into a 7/7. So it goes from being a 4/4 for 5 to a 7/7. And it's just vanilla. Just a vanilla 4/4 and a vanilla 7/7. Nothing special, nothing fancy. That's it. That's all you got. All right. Let's go to the next pack. We got a Kessig Wolf as our first card here. Another misunderstood animal right there, right? Look at it. It looks like it could be such a good boy. It just needs some love. That's what it's looking for right now. That's why it's up on its back legs. It's looking for a hug. It just wants a hug. Just go and hug it. What could go wrong? It definitely won't eat you. I swear. I swear it won't eat you. Wooden Stake. This was a fun equipment, if I remember correctly, because it's a 2-mana equipment that only takes 1 to equip, and it's equipped creature gets +1/+0, and that's it. But whenever a equipped creature blocks or becomes blocked by a vampire, destroy that creature. It can't be regenerated. So it basically gives you protection from vampires entirely, which is kind of cool. We got a Festerhide Boar. All right, this one's not misunderstood. It's just nasty looking. This is an animal that has been neglected. That's why it's got Festerhide going on, right? That's basically it. It's a 3/3 with trample, and it says morbid. If it enters the battlefield, it enters the battlefield with 2/1/1 counters on it if a creature died this turn. So like, if it had, if you've killed something, you get a 5/5 trample boar instead of a 3/3 trample boar for 4, which is, I guess that makes sense. So what did you, like, rub the dead animal all over the board to make it more powerful? That's what's festering. It's not the boar that's festering. It's the stuff that's on top of the boar that's festering. I guess that's how that works. Makeshift Mauler. Another one of these weird zombie horror things. It's like got a weird number of legs and stuff. Like there's like blood under its foot there. It's super weird looking. But the foot isn't a foot. It's like a hand. So it's like, instead of feet, it has hands that it walks on. And then, like, what is this weird contraption here where it's like, it looks like a metal extendo arm with a big blade on the front of it, right? Like, that guy is skewered. That guy is straight up skewered on this card. That is dark. That is dark. Just straight up skewered. And it's because, as an additional cost that you have, as an additional cost to cast it, you have to exile a creature card from your graveyard. We've got a Deranged Assistant. I'll help you, master, I swear. 2 mana for a 1/1 that says tap and put the top card of your library into your graveyard. Add a colorless mana, or in this case, generic mana, to your mana pool. I believe did it switch to colorless? It's probably been errated to colorless mana instead of generic, since that is its own thing now in itself. Look, I've never noticed this. Look at those runes on that device. That's kind of cool. Very neat. The art on this card is very cool too. Like, it's just that very like dark kind of like grim art where it's like everything's kind of like blurred together just because of the sullen imagery, right? Very cool. Very cool. Niels Ham, of course. I should have guessed that's who had drawn this or painted this or whatever you want to call it. Very cool. Gnaw to the Bone. Gnaw to the Bone. If I remember correctly, this card is great. One of my friends has a deck that plays this, or what used to play this, which was basically like a deck that was like similar to like a dredge type deck, except that instead of worrying about bringing things back from your graveyard, you just want to dump things in so that you can then play your things that get bigger because of all the things in the graveyard. And then you play cards like this where it's like you just gain a whole bunch of life so that you don't have to worry about getting killed anytime soon while you get your engine online. And it has flashback for the same cost, right? So you get to do it twice, which can be a lot of life if you've dumped, like, let's say 10 to 15 creatures into your yard. I mean, 20 to 30 life for 3 mana seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. We've got Ghostly Possession here. 3 mana, little enchant aura. I mean, we've all seen this image before, right? She's just had a little too much to smoke. That's all, right? I mean, look at those eyes. You can see the whites of her eyes. Obviously, her eyes are rolling back from how high she is. Obviously, right? Obviously. Enchanted creature has flying, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by enchanted creature. Rebuke. Rebuke. So this is destroy target attacking creature for 3 mana. And you can see there, this is basically just like a dude getting just absolutely destroyed by the Avacyn logo right in his chest. Just breaking him apart. Breaking him apart. First uncommon is the Falconwrath Noble. This card is great. I love this card. So this is a 2/2 flyer for 4 that basically does the same thing as Blood Artist, except that instead of being an 0/1 for 2, it's a 2/2 flyer for 4. So it's got evasion and it's got a little bit more power to it. And flying, right? Well, I said evasion, so I mean that makes sense. But like you can see the art here is really cool. It's like him in front of like a clock face, basically, but it's not really I guess it's not a clock face. It's just a giant lotus window, which is pretty cool as well. And you can see like in the background there's like a dragon statue or something, and very cool art. And like look at all the dudes hanging out on the ramparts here behind. Do you see this? Yeah, there's dudes back there. It's not just the edge of the building. Those are people and dudes like hanging out on the edges of the building. Really cool. Fiend Hunter, another great card. This card is very good as well. 3 mana, 1/3 that exiles a thing as it comes into the battlefield, and then it comes back when this leaves. Right. So the cool thing about this card was you were able to do the weird like exile it forever combo, because it's as it enters the battlefield you exile another target creature, so that goes on to the stack, and then because it's a separate ability, it says when this leaves the battlefield return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So you target it, and in response to the target before the trigger goes off you bounce this, so then this comes back into play and exiles something else, and then the first card you exiled is just gone because it doesn't have the second thing or whatever. It's like something like that. I can't remember the exact way it works, but like something along those lines. It basically lets you just like pew it away forever if you have a way to like bounce this or remove it before the second trigger. Like before the first trigger happens, if you get rid of this, it can't return it to the battlefield because it's not gone yet. So then it just goes, and then the first part puts it back into, removes it from play, and then it's just gone, which is kind of cool. And then we've got the Bramble Crush, which is the nice little 4 mana destroy target non-creature permanent. So it just blows up lands, artifacts, that kind of stuff. Right? Enchantments. Who doesn't like having, vines all over all their things? And then the rare is Endless Ranks of the Dead. This is a really good enchantment as well. This one's pretty good. It's so it's a 4 mana enchantment that says at the beginning of your upkeep, put X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is half the number of zombies you control rounded down. So each time, each upkeep essentially is going to make more zombies, as provided none of your zombies have died. And the art on it is very good. You can just see it's like the church, but like the shadows are like the zombies banging at the glass, basically. And if any of you know, stained glass, not necessarily the strongest type of glass out there for preventing things from coming in. We've got a add card, good old add card, and then your flip card is a Village Ironsmith, but there's a card behind it, so then what is it? What is this? You've got a land. Okay. I don't know what the deal is here. So you've got a foil in this pack, I guess? I don't know. We'll find out in a moment. So you've got this guy here, which is the Village Ironsmith. So 1/1 first striker. At the beginning of your upkeep, if no spells were cast, you flip it, and it turns into a 3/1 first striker. So very good for your red aggro decks. 2 mana little 1/1 that turns into a 3/1 first striker, which is pretty decent. So let's put that there, and then you've got a nice plains here, and then a foil. Okay, there is a foil. All right, so we'll put the land here with this, and your foil is a Hysterical Blindness. Look at that. That is some interesting things going on right there. They do look pretty hysterical, I have to say. What do you think's corrupting them, though? Like, what do you think's making them blind? Like, it looks like their face has got, like, some weird blue stuff going on. So, like, what is it? Some sort of, like, necrotic thing? Like, what is this? The panic is amusing, but the real fun comes when the spell passes and the villagers start looking for a scapegoat. Ah, I see. So it's like necrotic energy, right? That's causing them to be blind. That's basically what that is. Cool, cool. Nice little foil. We'll take it. Let's open up the next one. Next pack. Let's do this. All right. We've got another wooden stake here. We've seen this already, so I'm just going to kind of go past it. We saw this week already, so I'm just going to put it off. Ghoul Caller's Chant. This is a great card as well. So it's a 1-mana sorcery that says choose 1, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, or return 2 target zombie cards from your graveyard to your hand. So for 1 mana, you can get 2 zombies back from the graveyard to your hand, which is pretty sweet. And then you can see the art here is like, you've got like the hands reaching out from like the sarcophagus basically, which is kind of cool. Very interesting, like wispy art there as well. Oh, the Ambush Viper. There you go. The Ambush Viper is a good one too. 2 mana, little 2/1 with Flash and Death Touch. So this was the one that you could get people with really hard in Limited in this format, because you could leave up 2 mana in green, and not a lot of Flash creatures in green back when this set came out. So there wasn't a lot going on where you'd be like, green, why are they leaving up 2 mana? Like, you know, they've got a trick, like an onboard trick for like pumping or something, like a pump spell, maybe, right? No, it's an actual 2/1 Death Toucher. So, very cool. The Viper's Brood, right? Like I think that's where that came from. The Viper's Brood, that's what, Gabby, right? Gabby is the Viper's Brood, right? So we've got Ghoul Caller's Bell. If you don't know who Gabby is, then I'm sorry, but she's a, you know, Magic commentator and judge and all that good stuff. Ghoul Caller's Bell. Nice little 1-mana artifact here that says each player puts the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard. And it's just like a little skull bell. Who doesn't like a little, like, rattle? Who doesn't like to have their brain rattled from time to time, you know? You know what I'm saying? Armored Scab. So scabs were big in this set, and most of the scabs had some sort of like alternate cost to them. So for instance, this is a 3-mana 1/4, but it says when it enters battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. So like you get a 1/4 for 3, but you got a mill 4. But the milling 4 actually can be pretty useful in this set, because there was a lot of things that mattered about having cards in the graveyard and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, like, just look at this guy. He looks like he has murdered a bunch of dudes on the beach. Just you know, casually murdering people on the beach. Totally fine. Here you go, Bonds of Faith. And the art on this is gorgeous. I would totally have this on a playmat as well. It's like a demon, like, chained up with like a just like a enchanted chain here by, you know, a priest or an angel or something along those lines. Not an angel because they don't have wings, but like, you know, some sort of white priest or monk or something that has control over this demon because of this chain around its neck, right? Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 as long as it's a human. Otherwise, it can't attack or block. So essentially, it can bolster your human if you put it on, or you can use it as like a pacifism, which is kind of cool. Vampiric Fury, 2-mana little instant here. Vampire creatures you control get +2/+0 until and gain first strike until end of turn. Lots of vampires in this set, so this card was very good for that aspect. Look at the art on this card, though. My goodness. Vampiric Fury. I think they're pretty angry with whoever this person is that they are feasting on. And again, the gothic thing here. Or maybe they're angry with each other because they're fighting over the meal. I don't know. Who knows what it is that they're fighting about or over or on, or who knows. They look angry with each other. That's fair. They do kind of look angry at each other. Well, who knows. Naturalize. Good old Naturalize. We've seen this in a number of sets. It's been reprinted a number of times. The art on this is really cool because you do see the Avacyn logo there. So this is like obviously like some sort of artifact or something for the Abyssinian church, and it's been sort of laid waste or reclaimed to nature, you know, by naturalizing it. Very cool. Very cool. Typhoid Rats. Good old Typhoid Rats. Who doesn't like a 1-mana Death Touch 1/1 in black, right? Something that we all know and love. And, you know, Typhoid is nothing to you know, concern yourself with. There's definitely no reason you would need to be worried about it. It's not like it'll kill you if it touches you, right? Oh, wait. Death Touch, right. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Look at that little guy, though. Doesn't he look so cute? Look at him. He's in your, like, little salad bowl there or whatever. He's like, yeah, don't worry. I'm just pooping in here. It's fine. Nothing will ever go wrong, I swear. We got Dissipate here. as the first uncommon. A little counter spell for 3 mana. Counter target spell, if that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Very important in this set, as there was a lot of graveyard recursion. So very good in that aspect. And then you can see here, there's just some sort of beastie dog thing getting whisked away by blue mana, I guess, is what you would call it. I don't know how you ascertain what's going on in that picture, to be honest. Butcher's Cleaver. There you go. Kind of bloody. But you can see on the wall there behind. Looks like some sort of rabbit or something that has been butchered and is ready for consumption. So this is a little equipment that's 3 mana. +3/+0. As long as equipped creature is a human, it has lifelink. So you go, it gets to eat whatever it's killing. So that's good. We've got the Rakish Air, right? So you can see it's a 3 mana 2/2 that says whenever a vampire you control deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. So this impacts your other vampires. So it's like this one basically bolsters your other vampires to get bigger, which is kind of cool. So that was a cool mechanic for this set. Now, of course, you can see glamorous. Look how glamorous this vampire is. He's even wearing like a corset type thing. Yeah. Sounds like a Rakish Air, I guess. And, ooh, we got an Isolated Chapel as the rare here. Pretty nice. Little fast land, right? Is that what we call these? Isolated Chapel enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a plains or a swamp. Yeah, little check land. Is this a check land? Is that what they called these ones? I think it was check land, right? Because it checks to see if you have... Or were these ones like ones called buddy lands, where it was like you have to have the other? I never remember. There's a bunch of different things. We have the fast lands, which are like it comes into play and tapped unless you control 2 or few basics or 2 or few lands or whatever. And then there's ones that's like if you control 2 or more basics, it comes into play untapped, or I don't remember. There's a bunch of different ones. There's a check land. There's a buddy land. There's a what was the other one I said? The fast lands? Yeah, fast lands, buddy lands, check lands. I can't remember what the difference is between them, but here we are. Nice little land to hit as well, so that's pretty good. Second week in a row, we've opened some pretty nice rares here for you, Brad. So thank you so much for letting me open these packs for you and showing them to the community and showing them off. That's great. I really appreciate it. There's your spirit token and your checklist card, and then your flip card is a Thraben Century, which is a 2/2 with Vigilance for 4. And it says, whenever another creature you control dies, you may transform it. So you can just flip it, and it becomes a 5/4 with Trample. The Thraben Militia. So, can become a 5/4 very quickly after you play it, since it's only a 2/2 for 4. Now, I mean, a 2/2 for 4, not great, but it's still alright. Anyway, so there you have it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a little bit of walk down Innistrad's memory lane here. I am your host, Mr. B. Big shout out to Brad for providing me with the box to open. All of the cards will be going back to Brad. I will be mailing them back to him. Do not worry. They are all his cards. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And as always, may your pulls ever be better.